What's going on, everybody? This your boy Isaiah, coming to you again from Buccaneers Locker. Subscribe, like, comment, share on all my videos. Make sure you hit the notification tab on this channel to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. I was glad to be back, folks. You thought I was gone? I'm still here. Buccaneers Locker is still pumping out videos. Not a lot, but it's been a quiet off season up until the last couple days, last couple weeks, with the combine and some free agent signings by a lot of teams, and plus free agent signings by our team in particular. So we picked up a couple people. I like to call it safe signings. We picked up I would say good acquisitions to help us in certain areas. And it seemed like this free agency, Jason Light didn't go after the big money free agents. I guess he was gun shy on that based on his history with those chances that he took with other guys like Michael Johnson and Anthony Collins and some other guys that didn't pan out. So he took the safe route with some good guys, good locker room guys, hard-working guys, hard-nosed guys that's going to come and get to work. And I'm going to run down a list of guys who we signed and what I think about them. We signed Chandler Catanzaro, the kicker from Arizona. He's been around been around the league a little bit. He's pretty accurate, especially for 50-plus yards. A 3-year deal. All these deals have pretty much been 3-year deals, pretty much. Safe signings. So he solidifies the kicking game. We might bring another kicker in camp. Then we signed Mitch Urin, defensive tackle from Chicago, a run stuffer, one of the top-rated run stuffers in the league. Then we turn around and sign the same guy, pretty much. Like, we basically doubled up in the interior to strengthen our run defense with Bo Allen, Philadelphia Eagles defensive line or defensive tackle, defensive end, depending on what you're playing, 3-4, 4-3. He was another one of the top-rated run defenders that we signed this offseason. So Mitch Urin and Bo Allen are pretty much the same guys, same build, but they're very good run defenders. They're not going to get sacks or anything like that. So obviously, Jason Light and Dirk Cutter wanted to shore up the run defense. So that's going to help our run defense substantially on first and second down, or even third and short and fourth and short. Those some big bodies. And then plus that'll give Jerry McCoy some rest. He don't have to defend the rundowns. You got those two guys you can throw in there on rundowns, and give Jerry McCoy some rest. But there's a gift and a curse with that. So if they catch us in that type of defense with Mitch and Bo Allen in there, we might get fried. I don't know. And then another signing that we did was Ryan Jansen, the center from Baltimore Ravens. Made him the highest paid center, obviously, and the money that we gave him, he's a versatile offensive lineman. He can play right guard, left guard, or center. It looks like we're going to move Ali Marpet back to right guard, or maybe left, but I think it's going to be right guard. They tested him out last year center. He was actually a pretty decent center. He wasn't that bad. Actually, no, he was actually middle of the pack type center. He graded out like between like 12 and like 17, which is not bad for a guy that first time playing center. And maybe another year or two, he'll probably be a top-rated center, but the Bucs the organization feel like he's better at the right guard. And we'll put Ryan Jensen at center. And sometimes we can switch them up. If Jensen get hurt, we can put Ali Marpet. So we have versatility between those two. We got to shore up the left guard. I don't know what they're going to do with J.R. Sweezy. They're holding on to him right now because they don't have anybody else. They got Kevin Pamphlet, Demir Dotson will come back. He was one of the top-rated right tackles in the league, or top-rated tackles, period, right or left. Of course, we got the incompetent, or the, I was incompetent, but we have Donovan Smith at left tackle still. Hasn't missed the game yet, and he's improved. So he's getting better. He's still young, still on his rookie deal. I don't think we're going to let him go just based on how they talk about him. He's improved, and I think that's what they want to see with him. Going from, year 3 to year 4, or year 2 to year 3, which he's done it. And I give Donovan Smith a clap for that. And I used to hog Donovan Smith all the time, but he looked better the last 8 weeks. He kind of settling in. He only allowed 5 sacks in 16 games. So, I mean, that sounds like a lot, but 16 games, 5 sacks. And then I would say our biggest signing this offseason was Vinny Curry. A 29 going on 30-year-old defensive end. He was a rotational pass rusher with the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. The Philadelphia defensive line was basically 8 deep, and Curry was a part-time pass rusher. And when he was in the game, he was productive. A lot of quarterback pressures, a lot of quarterback hits. Didn't have a lot of sacks because they rotated a lot of guys, so he really couldn't show himself. And the Eagles gave him a pretty big deal based on his potential, and he didn't quite pan out to the level that they thought he was going to be at. That's why they signed Derek Barnett, and they brought in Michael Bennett. So he was expendable, and we picked him up, and we gave him a 3-year deal, another 3-year deal, $27 million, averaged out to like $9 million a year, and the guaranteed money was like over 10 plus. I think $11 million guaranteed or something like that. So Vinny Curry kind of like helps us on the pass rushing side because he can pass rush. He's like basically Robert Ayers but younger. Robert Ayers was 32 years old. Let's face it, folks. He didn't do anything last year. He barely did anything. He was hurt. And Vinny Curry is like 2 years younger, well 3 years, about to be 2 years younger than Vinny Curry. Robert Ayers hasn't been hurt a lot. Robert Ayers has been hurt. So Vinny Curry does bring a little bit of youth and some experience and some aggressive pass rushing skills. Rushing from the outside, left or right, or interior. So he's kind of like a Michael Bennett. We could have signed Michael Bennett, but we didn't want the headache in the locker room. So we chose Vinny Curry, the safer locker room guy. Remember, all these guys that we signed this offseason are locker room guys. Just look at their backgrounds. They're no off-the-field issues. They come to work. You know, they're second-tier guys, top-level second-tier, mid-level second-tier guys. They're going to come to work and not going to have any off-the-field issues or on-the-field issues with them. You know, Vinny Curry, you haven't heard anything bad about him as far as off the field or on the field. He does what he has to do. With Aaron and Allen and Chandler Canizaro, you know, I mean, Jensen, like these guys are good ball players. They're not all pros. Not the center, Jensen, he's possibly can be a Pro Bowler guard or center. We'll see about that. He's 26 years old, so he got time. Ali Marpet is under 26. Donovan Smith is under 26. So our line is pretty young. Demetrius Dawson's like 31, 32, something like that. But he's still got good years left in him. We got to shore up that left guard. Mike sticks J.R. Sweezy over there. But anyway, that's not about him. So my take on all these signings are, I would give the grade of a C+. Because it addressed some of the issues that we had. And as you can see, we specifically focused on the defensive line this offseason. 2 defensive tackles and a defensive end. Veterans. So that should tell you what the Bucs kind of looking at. And I know people talk about how does this free agent offseason affect the Bucs in the draft? Well, my take, it does affect the Bucs on who they're going to pick. Now, let's be real. We would like to get Bradley Chubb. If Bradley Chubb's sitting there, we take him. Yeah, we got Noah Spence, but he stayed hurt a lot. Yeah, we got Vinny Curry, but he's 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? So you take Bradley Chubb if he's sitting there. The chances of him sitting there, 50-50 maybe, because of the reports are coming out. 4 quarterbacks are going in the top 5 or top 6, which will give us a choice between Bradley Chubb, Saquon, and Quentin Nelson. Now, on the flip side, on the other side of the ball, offensively, if the Jets, well, not Jets, but if the Colts pick Bradley Chubb, we might have a choice between Saquon and Quentin Nelson. If they go full quarterbacks up top, because if they go full quarterbacks the first 4 picks, we at 7, so we got a choice between Bradley, Saquon, and Quentin Nelson. It don't matter who we go with. Instant starter. The dream scenario would be Saquon Barkley falls to 7. Let's be real. How I look at it, Saquon, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson. But see, Saquon and Bradley Chubb are interchangeable. They can be 1 or 2 on our draft board. But one of those three will be picked by us if things fall right, based on the free agent offseason signings. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Derwin James and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Remind you, this draft is pretty deep in the secondary and running back. So, do we take Saquon at 7? I don't know. Do we trade with somebody to get more picks? I don't know. But we didn't sign a running back this offseason. We tried to sign Jack McKinnon, but he signed with the 49ers. So we're gonna draft a running back. We signed Ryan Jensen to play center, to move Ali Marpet back to guard, which kind of takes us out of the Quentin Nelson sweepstakes, maybe. And maybe we still might draft him. Do we pass up on him? My take, if Bradley Chubb and Saquon is gone and Quentin Nelson sitting there, you take him and you put him at the left guard. And you solidify your line for the next 5 to 7 years with Donovan Smith, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Jensen, Ali Marpet, Demir Johnson. You talking about a top 10 line. Jameis should have no issues with that and pick up a running back in the second rounds. Sony Michel, Nick Chubb, Royce Freeman, Rashad Penny, which is one of my favorite, or Ronald Jones. But this is all based on what we signed this offseason. We didn't sign nobody in the secondary yet. And there's still some secondary people sitting out there. There's been a lot of reports about E.J. Gaines. The talks are very slow with him. He's a pretty good cornerback. Not top tier, but he's decent. One of them second tier guys that's pretty good. Come to work, he can actually cover. There's some safety sitting out there like Trey Boston. He's sitting out there. We didn't go after Tyrann Mathieu, too much money. 2 ACLs. They weren't going to take a chance on a 25-year-old with 2 ACL injuries with a lot of money. Houston did a 1-year, $7 million deal. That's Houston, not us. We didn't sign any safeties or cornerbacks yet. So that kind of tells you what we might be drafting as well, because there's so many scenarios. It all depends on the first 4 picks. If they're going to be quarterbacks, we're going to have the pick of the litter as far as Derwin James, Minkah, Saquon, or Quentin Nelson, or Bradley Chubb. One of those 5 going to fall to us. Let's be real. Those 5 I just named, one of those non-quarterbacks are going to fall to us. And if we get an offer, for somebody to come up like, Buffalo or Miami, Jacksonville, or any one of those teams that need quarterbacks, San Diego, the Cardinals, they're going to trade up to draft Lamar Jackson or Mason Rudolph or any other quarterback in the first round. We got to make that trade. If they're going to give us their first rounder and their second rounder and next year's second rounder, we make the trade. We drop back a little bit and still pick a good guy. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So like I said, the grade I'm going to give us based on our signings, C+, maybe a B-. It just depends on how they look on the field. But right now, C+. I like the signings. Not overly excited. But we still got time left to sign a couple more guys. But right now, I give us a grade of a C+. Hopefully, we can sign maybe E.J. Gaines or somebody in the secondary. If we don't sign, I'm going to tell you right now, if we don't sign a safety, we're going to draft a safety. That's a great possibility. Derwin James or Minkah Fitzpatrick. If we sign Minkah Fitzpatrick, Vernon Hargreaves will stay in the slot nickel for 1 more year. And, of course, we got Brent Grimes. If we sign a corner, we're going to draft a safety. Either Derwin James or, once again, Minkah Fitzpatrick, because he's versatile. They're both versatile. A lot of talk about Derwin James being Jalen Ramsey 2.0. He's bigger than Jalen Ramsey. Just as athletic and fast. Just as fast. So, we're going to see. I like the signings. It addresses what we needed. The trenches. Offensive line, defensive line. You got to get those 2 straight. You got to be able to stop the run, and you got to be able to block and to run the ball. And we need a running back for that. I like Peyton Barber, but come on, let's be real. These running backs in the draft are better than Peyton Barber right now. And Peyton Barber been in the league for a couple years. Let's be real. So, that's my take on the current situation with our free agent signings. Tell me what you guys think. This your boy Bucko's Locker. Subscribe to the channel. Fire those cannons. Siege the day. I'm out. Peace.